Welcome back to the Gunners Club, and wherever you are in the world and whenever you are, it's a Saturday night. We've put the fire on just for you, and you're welcome with us. Suze?
I'll tell you what, Gunner, it's about bloody time that we started talking about something that's part of my passion.
So what actually is the theme of what we're doing today?
Well, my beauties.
Your beauties.
Irish. Irish whiskey. I mean, yes, you have led me to the dark side with the Scotch. And as much as they'll get me through the night, when I want a true happy ending, we're talking Irish.
Well, you know, John Lennon once said, whatever gets you through the night, it's all right. It's all right. And so I sit on the Scotch for this. I was trying to think of a title as to what we could call this video, and all that kept coming on through my head was that person standing on a platform in Salzburg in a dress, turning around, you know, in Austria. What was it?
Yeah, you're not talking Arnie.
I love that guy. No, I was thinking The Sound of Music.
I can picture him in a dress, actually.
With some of the deep AI videos I've seen with him singing I Want to Dance with Somebody, it wouldn't be hard to do. But I was thinking of a title for this as These Are a Few of My Favourite Things. I'm going to hand pass to you because these are a few truly of your favourite things.
Oh, look, seriously, if we're talking whiskey, Irish, we're in my ballpark here. Now, I was lucky enough, and again, see, you're to blame for my whole, dark experience here. You bought me this. This is the very same bottle, by the way. This is the very same bottle of Tullamore Dew. This was for a special birthday, one of the milestone birthdays.
Yeah.
This is a 12-year-old, Tullamore Dew. This is the purple label, as opposed to what's more commonly available everywhere, which is a green label. This is so much smoother. Okay, so that's what got me onto Irish. So I was drinking that. That is a little bit more pricey than your standard go into any liquor store and get your Jameson, which is a pretty damn good drop on its own. And that is my standby every day of the week. I do happen to have a large bottle over there.
So why don't we try that and let me know what you consider a decent entry-level Irish whiskey.
Well, entry-level Irish whiskey is the Jamo.
Let's go for it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I've got to tell you, it's that smooth. You don't need ice. You don't need any of the fancy stuff. You just pour a smidge of that and you'll be happy as Larry.
Now, I'm wondering if I should be the kid with the needle at someone's party with balloons, because if you go back to our library, and we really have got quite an extensive library happening now, where we talked about the Johnny Walker range, and we went right up to the zenith, being the Johnny Walker Blue, and Susie decided that he would introduce it to Diet Coke. Okay, it's a very high note, so I'm expecting a sherry note because of the white oak that they use and the sherry casks, etc. There's really nothing in the way of colour. What am I looking for? Because I'm not looking for complexity here, am I?
You're looking for a smooth whiskey.
I thought you were going to say a smack in the mouth.
That comes after. Tell me that's
My
not
God,
smooth.
it's smooth. It is unapologetically smooth. I mean, smooth.
And we are talking absolute entry level here. If you don't like Scotch because, it's too much burn, it's too spirity, this is what you go with. I kid you not.
It is remarkably smooth. If you were talking in the Johnny Walker range, what you'd be looking for commonly in Australia is on special a $75 bottle of Johnny Walker Gold, usually in the $85 to $90, or bottle I imported from Germany, which is a Johnny Walker Blonde, which is probably actually half the price of this. So I'm sorry to defend you there. But this truly is remarkably smooth. There's no getting around that at all. In terms of complexity, I'm not feeling much. There's really not much. There's no oiliness to the mouth. There's no iodine or salt spray. The sort of mercurial qualities that I love from the islands of Scotland.
He's really getting deep, isn't he? But it still has a bit of staying power, unlike, what were they that we tried?
The gold.
The gold, the Johnny Gold,
Yeah.
oh my God. It just...
And the 18 as well didn't have quite the staying power we expected.
But this is entry level. We're talking $55 a bottle.
Now that,
50
that
bucks.
is not a lot of money, unfortunately, in Australia.
Well, if we're talking Australian
in
dollars,
the land
no.
of tax,
Yeah.
coming from an accountant. But truly, I couldn't imagine buying this, understanding what a whiskey, an Irish whiskey particularly, should taste like, and being disappointed.
It's truly remarkable for an entry level Irish.
Yeah.
And we haven't even got to the good stuff yet.
So usually he tries to fill me up with the cheap stuff, and then there's really not much room left for anything of quality.
He's found out my secret.
I mean, I guess the whole thing of the wedding of Cana was it was the good wine that was produced after the pour. So actually he's doing the right thing here. We've started as we mean to go on. We're progressing to even better. And, you know, my father really loves that Tullamore Dew as well. And he's got a very limited cellar. I don't, because I know you watch. That's actually one of the few bottles he actually has. And I've noticed it's been going down. Have you been giving it a nudge?
Purely medicinal purposes.
I believe so.
It really is such an easy drinking whiskey.
Incredibly. Whether that's damning it with faint praise, because you could say the same about the Johnny Walker Blonde.
Keep on walking.
See, this is said from a person who never went to Gaelic school and doesn't actually understand what walking means. The Johnny Walker Keep on Walking had nothing to do with the person using his legs for mobility. Walking is actually the pulling of the wool, which was a major industry in that period and in that area. Talking of pulling, what do we have here?
I was wondering when we're going to lead to that, Gunnar. This is the Tullamore. This is the one that you introduced me to and set me down the road of Irish.
I think it was a moment of sobriety. We were loitering at the cheap end of the counter, and we decided,
Loitering.
no, there is a zero at the end of the birthday. I think he actually deserves something special.
And then you bought me the cheap stuff, right?
Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a class above.
Yes.
The smoothness is still there, but let me tell you,
The flavour.
the moment that it hits the palate is completely different. It's almost barley sugar, actually.
Yeah. It's
Now
a completely
that's really going
different
back,
flavour
isn't it,
profile.
to the old days of where you'd hiccup in church and an old lady would turn around and pass you a pack of steamroller peppermints or perhaps a barley sugar or, dare I say, butterscotch. If you're particularly good.
Butterscotch. That's been sitting in the bottom of her purse.
That's right.
For decades, and it's still got...
But once you got rid of the wrapper, which is usually an old tissue, it was actually quite all right. Yeah, it's barley sugar to the nose.
It is
and really pleasant.
And
Really
creamy,
pleasant.
this one.
Yeah.
Creamy compared to the Jameson. Oh, this is nice.
It's remarkably good. The difference between the scotches, which I like, and this are that you get, imagine you've gone to a spice shop and you hit with cardamom, cloves, salt, everything you could possibly imagine. They're not imaginative like that. They can't be, because they're using sweeter barrels which have been pre-used. As well as that, they're distilling it over and over, and literally for the third time over again. But you've got a pleasantness which is so approachable. And you know, if you can't be happy with something like this, I truly don't think that you deserve to drink whiskey. I'm sorry. Move on to something else.
Actually, there's something
Leave your
to be
like and subscribe beforehand.
Yeah.
To something else. Now, if you don't agree with me, I'm sure that Bob would.
He's been having words to me on the side.
Yes.
That your subs are due, and you still haven't paid them.
I've tried to look the other way. If you have a look at his eyes, they're actually rather disarming.
You think they're just looking at you, they're winking.
Well,
I think he's after something.
Well, he has to really look directly at me, and I will retain a degree of ocular immobility so that he can't actually corner me. Besides, he always sits on that particular part of the bar as well.
You notice he's on your side.
And that's how it should stay.
I don't mind this. This is very nice.
I
and
think
it's you I have to
really
thank
evident.
for this bottle, and it's still the original bottle, but this is, my God, this is a good one. This is why I don't share this on a regular basis.
You know, when I was custodian of the Mass, sometimes out at Puckapunyal, it would be my job to mark the bottles with the level of alcohol that's been drunk. And that meant coming around with
a marker,
pen and actually marking the level, so you could say, well, how much actually has come across the bar and how much, in fact, has been drunk. I don't think that's gone down a level for quite a while.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't, I have to admit. This is a little bit special. But the price isn't crazy price.
I mean, you can tell already they're differentiating themselves. Look at the lovely wood, attention to detail. That would be a cork of some sort inside that as well.
Well, it is, in fact. Yes, in fact it is.
Now, last week, I was in a special pocket of Melbourne at my old church where they had a cork tree. Now, if you've never seen a cork tree before, they're the most impressive things you'll ever see. You cannot hug them. You cannot embrace them and get your arm around because the girth is just truly astonishing, and the thickness of the cork is amazing as well. The process that they go through to harvest it and make sure that they can keep harvesting the cork overseas is absolutely remarkable. It is a lovely living product. I just wanted to share that with you because to actually touch a cork tree, to squeeze it and to fill it with your fingers is something you just have to do. It's not like what you'll get in this, where essentially what they'll do is they'll scrap the cork, they'll repurpose it, remanufacture it, combine it with some other composites. But the real cork that like you used to get in the early Australian wines from the 70s. I'd have to take back the bottle because inevitably one out of every few bottles would spoil.
You're not turning into a tree hugger like you were telling me, are you?
I've got a special love for cork.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, that is great. I mean, it's just every level of goodness without the bounty that you'll get from a really, truly great scotch.
I reckon this is better than what you would regard as a good scotch. This has got the flavour, it's got the creaminess, it hasn't got the edge of the spirit that just burns that you get with a lot of scotches.
Yeah. And really I regard that as similar to like music from the 60s and 70s. I mean, who of you still today listen to the Nolan sisters, and who are still listening to the Rolling Stones, who with their edgy music have just released another single today? I'd still go for the scotch, but I'm getting a lot from that. And if the money was right, I would drop it for that. That's very nice.
It is.
Very, very nice. Now let me tell you something about this next one.
You're going to tell me something about this one. Okay.
You impressed me a lot with the redbreast, so much so that when I was in Thessaloniki, I bought a friend of mine a bottle of this redbreast, and he loved it. And hello to you.
It's best to have two of them.
Is that right? 2 bottles?
You need 2 redbreasts. I've always said that. You know I've always said that.
My mind was a million miles away. Tell me why you love the redbreast. What's so special about it?
This is a bit more pricey.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a 12-year-old. You can also get a 15-year-old.
Yeah, but let me ask you. We've sat at the bar together and we've drank them both back to back.
Yes.
Would you personally put your hand in your pocket ever again to buy the 15?
Never.
Never?
Never.
Never?
Never. Your brother bought a 15-year-old. We had a taste of it.
Yes.
In fact, it was at your place.
Yes.
It was for a particular occasion. And I thought, oh, I'm in for something special here. And I tried it. And I'm not sure, but I believe I asked him, how much did you pay for this? And we did a comparison. It was...
Mind you, Seuss is the same person who asks women of a certain age what their age actually is, and people of a certain weight what their weight is, and also people of a certain hue of nose how much they drink.
You need to be sure.
Okay. Okay.
You know, you got to know these things.
Right.
I seriously would not pay the amount on top of this for not getting so much more out of it.
Well, let me tell you, I've bought both of these bottles and gifted them. They both make extremely good gifts. This one blew you sideways and got you into Irish whiskey, and this one blew a friend of mine in Thessaloniki sideways, and I think truly opened his eyes to Irish whiskey as well.
Yeah, but he is a Greek after all.
Oh, gosh. I tell you, one day we'll have to do something on Greek spirits, because mastiki is something which has really grabbed me. Ouzo, I'm still trying to come to terms with. It's not quite my style. Your wines, I'm sorry, are just overpriced and not of the quality, but the mastiki is really something else.
Okay. Anyway, this to me, except for maybe one other, which was bought for as an anniversary gift. I have it over there on the shelf. We'll do another video on that one. It's rather a craft. It's very much a craft Irish whiskey, and that just goes that one step up above this.
Okay. All right, so you've wet my whistle, although you've also let me dry out. So let's try this out. So which one do you prefer of the two, the Tullamore 12 or the Redbreast?
Oh.
Any given day, are we talking about? Oh, that's wonderful.
The Tullamore, I got to tell you, has got nostalgic value for me. Mm-hmm. It's creamy, it's
what,
smooth.
nostalgic back to when I bought you a bottle?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, I can't be that ancient.
No, trust me, you are.
Okay.
It does have that nostalgic value. It's got that creaminess, that sweetness, that flavour. This is not a level above, this is a league above the Tullamore.
No, I don't think it is. I think the Tullamore is the same level. Yeah, I think the Tullamore is the same level. There's a difference of the nose. I think that Redbreast is slightly more agreeable on the nose. In terms of the taste, it's a little more interesting than the barley sugar I was getting from the Tullamore, but I wouldn't say better. But it certainly damns the unidimensionality and the smoothness only of the Jameson. For me, I think these both share the pedestal and shake hands. But for God's sake, man, you put them against something from northern Scotland and it's just lacking that mercurial something. That's something different. There's something that changes according to the mood. But having said that, they are very, very drinkable. And if you're something that's approachable and just sit back and let it take you, these are fantastic. Every day of the week, and they make incredible gifts. I have changed people's lives with these two different bottles.
You've changed my life with this one.
Yeah.
And this, to me, is what a whiskey should be, except for maybe one other that I have behind the bar that we'll do another video of. I would pick an Irish, even a bad Irish. Mind you, I haven't found a bad Irish yet.
Well,
I would pick a bad Irish
in fact, we have.
over a Scotch.
We have.
Have we?
And I would say the name starts with B. The Bushmills.
Oh, Bushmills.
Bushmills.
Bushmills,
No, you've got to
10-year-old.
That is
I
not a good
stand
whiskey.
corrected.
Folks,
I bow.
folks,
I stand corrected.
do not put your money that way. There is such thing as a bad whiskey, a bad Irish whiskey, and it would be the Bushmills 10-year-old.
There are some Scotches, only because you've driven me down the dark side. There are a very small handful of Scotches that I will say, yeah, okay. Yeah, they're not bad.
Look, that is
They're
good.
not bad.
That is good. Look, I'm not trying to pretend. That is actually a very good drum. Very, very good. The more I drink it, the more I like it.
Yep.
The more I drink it, the more it's pulling away from the Tullamore. It's a little bit more complex.
Don't waste your money on a 15. Honestly, I tell you now, yes, they will give you all the hype and all the wank.
Yeah.
Don't waste your money on the 15 for the amount you're going to pay that's over the 12 for the 15. You're not going to get your bang for buck. Seriously, stay with the 12, a whole lot better.
That's right, and buy us a super chat or something like that with the difference.
What? What?
Oh, they can actually make a donation online if they want to with the YouTube channel.
Oh.
But I'm saying that just to be kind.
Just to be kind.
Buy the Redbreast 12 instead.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Save yourself some money. You'll get much better on your palate.
Yeah.
I
These
like this whiskey.
And I love the idea of this for a series. These are a few of our favourite things. And let me tell you what we're doing in the next couple of weeks. We are going on board a houseboat on the Murray River. Now, have a look if you're overseas. If you're Australian, you already know that the Murray River is the most quintessential part of Australia that there is, full stop. It's the most Australian you can get. If you're overseas, just Google Murray River. We're jumping on a houseboat and we're going to be bringing videos for you. We're going to be trying all sorts of things, and we're going to continue this series which we call These Are a Few of My Favourite Things, because what a great idea. Seuss absolutely loves his Irish whiskey, and he's introduced to us, and he's taught you about the fact that entry levels, this is where you start. This is something which is a little bit less anodyne. Makes a great gift, which I really love, the sweetness. And this really is the zenith of where you should put your money and don't spend a cent more than that.
Stick with the purple, not the green, guys. Honestly, it makes a difference.
But these are a few of our favourite things, and I would love to introduce you to my passion, which is and always has been wine. And we're going to talk about some of that. And we're going to share that fun with you from a houseboat. We've got a full-size houseboat with a jacuzzi, a proper kitchen, 4 bedrooms, because, you know, everybody needs 4 bedrooms. And you're not going to have just a bar stool. You're going to have your own bedroom to come and join us and come and enjoy the Murray River with us.
And I've bought a drone.
Oh, you weren't supposed to let that loose.
We're going to do some drone footage. I'm hoping I don't drown the drone.
And you know what else there is around there? There's all sorts of vineyards and things like that. So I am going to be in my element.
I'm having a happy ending in anticipation.
So you're all welcome aboard, apart from Bob. And we look forward.
Isn't Bob invited?
No.
But there's 4 bedrooms. Can't he have a bedroom?
Well, you're all invited, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good one, guys.
See you then.